Hello and welcome to the Dead Air Dudes. I'm Izzy.
I'm Raka, and you guys are Better Dudes Nation. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for liking, supporting, and giving us feedback as far as what we do and what we bring to you. We tell it like it is, slashing through the airwaves.
Slashing through the airways, please. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell. Get the notification so when we have a new episode, you guys, will know. And so, albeit just slightly, later than we anticipated, we have our review and comments about the Snyder cut of Justice League, or Zack Snyder's Justice League, or however, or the Snyder cut, or whatever it is you want to call it. All right, coming in at a whopping 4 hours and 2 minutes, or 3 hours and 53 minutes to be,
No, but you got to sit and watch to the end.
Yes. Do believe it's 6+ parts and an epilogue.
Yes, it is.
So,
Indeed,
yeah.
it is.
We aren't gonna do our usual, gonna go through the whole film. We took specific points and we're gonna discuss them. And I have a feeling that we have a different opinion. So
Spoilers abound.
everywhere, behind, in front of you, to the side, to the left, to the right, and everything.
And this should not really be too much for people because it's all out there already. 70%, I would say, of the movie is already the original. A good significant chunk of it is changed, but there's a good skeleton of it that's from the original. So it's not like the wholesale changes. It's a completely different movie.
No, but to a degree, I think it is a wholesale change because the heart of the movie completely changed. And that is one of the key differences between Joss Whedon and Zack Snyder.
Okay, and real quick, we won't go too deep into it, but we know that Snyder was going through some contractual issues as far as a also very, very deeply personal, just tragedy that happened. And so he was taken away. Joss Whedon was brought in and was also given orders to make it humorous, to make it campy. Basically, Warner Brothers said, make our version of Avengers.
Exactly.
Which was a totally wrong thing.
You know what I mean? So
totally messed up. Totally. Because DC should have stuck to their guns and remained dark.
Well, as they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if you're gonna go dark, just keep going dark. No need to. And mind you, it had, a lot of the jokes worked, but a lot of them didn't work. So it was a one for one. And my point on Joss Whedon is that he's pretty much hit and miss for me. Buffy was great. Firefly, to a degree, was very good.
One season wonder.
Then you have, what was the other one? Dark Angel, I think it was.
Yeah.
Then you had, Avengers, great. Age of Ultron, not so great. So
I guess
it's a mixed bag, fam. It's a mixed bag.
We'll get to it, and basically we're going to run down some major topics.
Yes.
We're going to give our ruling. Does it make the cut? Does it not make the cut?
Okay.
All right? Anybody who tried out for a team, hey, first cut, second cut, you make the team. Let's see. So, Izzy, roll it out. What is the first major talking point?
Well, as we mentioned, Joss Whedon was brought in to Marvelize the movie, right? And like you said, you mentioned to add humor and and lighten the whole thing up. Now, what did you think? Do you think that Whedon actually did what he had to do? Meaning, was he successful in his? And the difference.
In his mission statement set forth by those who hired him, yes, he made it lighthearted. He made it less violent. he made it, this is going to be a weird term, unrealistic superhero story, because this has been a concurrent theme that people have an issue with the Marvel thing. The whole Marvel line is a little sensationalized. They don't go deep into people get killed. They don't show death.
Right.
And they try to maintain a PG-13 rating.
Well, I mean,
they try to instill a lot of humor. Yeah, but so his marching orders, I believe he followed.
Right.
So I don't say that he was an incompetent director and threw out there, crapped out a piece of garbage. It just wasn't up to par to expectations.
You know what? I think he actually
falls onto WB too. That falls onto.
Well, of course, but I think he actually did crap out a piece of garbage.
Yes, he was a piece of garbage.
After watching this cut, it just makes basically you cannot shine a turd. Okay, a turd is a turd.
Although turtle wax will prove you different, but yeah.
A turd is a turd is a turd. There's nothing you can do to change a turd. All right. You may throw a little perfume on that bad boy, shine it up real nice. It still is shit. And the original cut of Justice League was shit. All right.
Now we're on that topic. Okay, there's a change in aspect ratio, right? So it's 4:3, which Snyder's cut, and it's a little more withdrawn, more of a general landscape for Whedon's cut.
Because it was filmed for it was filmed for IMAX. Zack Snyder said it. He filmed it for IMAX. It was supposed to be shown on IMAX on the big theaters. So he filmed it. That was a what did HBO Max say? They said it was a director's decision how he wanted to film, and they stayed true to the director's vision, and that's how they want to show it. And after the first 5 minutes, you didn't even notice it on TV. I mean, some people did, who are younger and they really need the whole screen to be full and whatever. But I mean, I don't mind, letterbox and all that good stuff. So it didn't bother me at all. So I mean, for Zack Snyder as a cinematographer, he is superior. So I really didn't have almost too over the top.
He leads you very well. He closes up when he wants to, when he really needs to, but he leads you very well in action and in drama. There's not a lot of wasted BS and long dramatic pauses. He does do a lot with slow-mo and a little
too much slow-mo, a little too much music, a little too much I mean, I don't need to hear the choir of angels, or the choir of the Amazons every time Wonder Woman does something, and I don't need to freaking have a slow motion of Aquaman coming down and spilling a portion of the whiskey because he didn't even finish the freaking bottle and throwing it into the ocean, which that's 0 for 2 because waste of whiskey. And 2,
all right,
pollution, man, pollution.
All right, so let's get to the meat. Steppenwolf was the main point villain.
Yes.
In the original.
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry, not the original. Let's say Whedon's, because the original did have Darkseid, who was cut out. And then here's the big spoiler, people. Not a big spoiler. Darkseid's the main bad boy in this movie, which it rightfully should have been.
Of course.
You can almost say the analogous of the Thanos. The issue I have with Darkseid, I have no problem. I was so elated that he was the bad guy. He is the man. I found it completely a complete disservice that he was taken down so fast and quick, even though it was Apollo, Zeus,
but it was the gods of Olympus. The whole, you had the Green Lantern Corps. You had fucking half of Atlantis. You had,
so okay. the axe goes through his carotid artery almost. Now, and I'm not gonna. This is not out of place, but I can't say what happens later with Superman. With
He's an alien. Come on, man. I mean, maybe he doesn't have a carotid artery.
Superman,
Maybe he doesn't have.
same thing happens to Superman. He's just unimpressed. It doesn't even pierce him. I mean, so you tell me the Kryptonian is way stronger than Darkseid?
My bigger issue is the fact on how powerful these guys are, and none of them can aim a fucking axe. Nor Thor in Avengers, nor who was it? Was that Ares, right? I guess who
Ares with the axe because God of War.
I mean, what the f, Like Thanos said, next time aim for the head, or something to that effect.
That was my only issue. That it was a grandiose scale, and he was kind of bitched ass back very quickly.
Dude, but he was him against freaking hundreds of people, and the parademons who were pretty useless. I mean, yeah.
I don't care.
Hey, tomato. I mean, I guess I see it.
Either way, it was a good cut. This makes the cut. It's a good move. It's the right move. It should have been the move from day one. That's the question I'd love to ask Whedon. Why the hell did you cut Darkseid out of this?
Because I think that since Snyder, this was Snyder's last movie for DC, and he wasn't gonna. This is Izzy's humble opinion, and so they since then the WB and DC, they decided that nothing is going to be continuity. Again, if they change it, whatever. But they said that they were not going to make movies
ridiculous
like Marvel. That each movie is a standalone story within a greater story.
Right, because Wonder Woman 1984 does not fit into her double identity in 2021.
Yeah, well, I mean,
she's all over the map. In 84, she just drops. Okay, we're not getting to that. Okay, so that doesn't make
Wonder Woman. I felt that I may be in the minority here. I felt that Zack Snyder treated her power set better than her own movies did. How about that?
I agree. I think he empowered her to be, both sensitive, understanding, but he made a delineated line that she is not a guardian angel, and that's it. Case in point, let's fast forward to the ending.
She's a warrior.
But let's fast forward to the ending. This was one of the best thumbs up rocker cuts of the movie. Spoilers abound. Aquaman spears Steppenwolf with his mom's trident or something.
His mom's trident because his mom was
knocks him into this portal. He is on Steppenwolf's body with the axe through his heart, is going through this portal. Before it makes it through, Wonder Woman does an acrobatic move and then takes a sword and beheads Steppenwolf.
Of course, that's physically impossible what she did, but let me not be the.
This is a superhero movie. Please throw physics out the window.
Physics is physics, man.
She beheads him.
Yes.
This is a departure from how she was treated in both Wonder Woman movies.
No, I mean the thing is, which I'm kind of shocked. I mean, unless Joss Whedon was so hampered by DC and the powers that be that they completely freaking neutered him, I get it. But a guy who is a comic fan, wrote comics himself, gave you this drivel, while Snyder understood better.
It had to go that way.
Understood the character better than Joss Whedon did, which is kind of surprising. Even though Snyder did not write the movie, it was Chris Terrio, I do believe.
With the knowledge that he had slaughtered many of her sisters
Great scene, by the way. Like
Yeah.
I would say, I would say everyone should watch this movie, if only the part one and the epilogue.
No, the epilogue's fantastic. We'll get to that. All right, so that's Wonder Woman. Now, there's new characters introduced here. A bevy of characters.
First of all, let's go back to probably the most important thing, in my opinion, of the movie, and I understand completely why Ray Fisher was so upset and pissed off at DC and wanted to. I'm not sure he wanted to sue them, but he was furious with the fact how they eliminated Cyborg almost completely in the Joss Whedon version, while in this one he is the backbone or the heart of the film. Everything goes to Cyborg. You have his whole underlying, his origin story. You have his dad. You have everything on how he his
Yes, even his origin story has been expanded and altered.
yeah. I mean everything is and how he was the focal point on how to defeat the mother boxes, and even he even made sense of the mother boxes. In the original, like these mother boxes are around, and you're like, okay, cool, whatever, and it makes no sense. And Steppenwolf wants these boxes to for what? They mention Darkseid, but you don't know. You don't see any of this stuff. And another
The,
thing is
yeah,
the Flash. The Flash was awesome in this as well.
the Flash was the secondary character. Everyone else took a back seat from Cyborg first, Flash second, and his backstory was elaborated more.
Yes.
Back to Cyborg, he added such depth to
Yeah.
his character, his storyline, expanding his origin story, and that pivotal a key role. In addition to, there's a whole bunch of futuristic things in here. In addition to him syncing with the mother boxes and in the Kryptonian machine, he saw flashes of the future, I guess, to be,
Right.
or one of the possible futures. Which again, he is now the oracle of what's going to happen. And part of him is like, oh, we shouldn't do this, oh, we shouldn't do that, because he knows where things are supposedly leading.
Exactly.
And it makes this, in contrast, it makes Batman to be the focal point of who initiated all the screw ups and everything. He's Batman is such a weak character in this movie, not as a weak character as portrayed, but a weak character as a character goes. He's basically motivated by guilt.
Yeah. Pretty much.
That he screwed up everything basically by initiating the death of Superman, which sent the signal, because apparently Darkseid and the forces that be were deathly scared of the Kryptonian. Again, super layers after layers that you don't have in Whedon's movie.
Exactly. You don't know anything about this, so then now you have. It all makes sense why this is going on. Why they sent freaking Steppenwolf. Why? Because they do fear the Kryptonian, and if shit's gonna go down, Steppenwolf fucked up already. He already messed up. He did some. So he said, you know what? Go ahead, handle this. And if you fail, like I think you are gonna fail, okay. And if you don't, you succeed. Okay, cool.
Steppenwolf in the beginning, though, he was a badass.
And Steppenwolf's look from this one to the other one, he looked hell of a lot better than this.
Hell more menacing. He's got an armor-plated body molded thing that raises spikes when it needs to.
Yeah, no, he looked like a conqueror of world. He looked the part, and the way he was tossing around Wonder Woman and Aquaman and beating their asses was pretty impressive. Until the Kryptonian came, and that just.
And he was not impressed.
That's why quick rant. That's why I'm not a fan of Superman. I get it, but he's just too damn powerful. He's OP, and it takes me out of the, of whatever I'm reading, whatever I'm watching. It just, yeah, because he's way too powerful.
What's the point? What's the point to going up against somebody you can't beat?
I mean, he's like, flicking freaking he that axe which killed I don't know how many freaking people. He froze it with a with little ice breath, and then he just in little pieces. He kicked them. He was beating the ever living crap out of Steppenwolf, who
It was a no contest.
100%.
Like they didn't even need Wonder Woman to behead him. They didn't even need Aquaman to spear him through the heart. Aquaman would have ripped him apart by his own self.
Batman did more damage to Superman in Batman versus Superman. Steppenwolf did to Superman in this movie.
With the kryptonite weapon.
Course. I mean, yeah. But point is, I mean,
Batman in this movie, he's older. It looks like a bit of his death wish, his vendetta against the world. It looks like it has eased a lot. And, I mean, his character, to me, this is not a criticism on Affleck. I don't know whether Affleck was told this or this was a new creative, but, and I don't want to use the word neutered either, but it was a very...
I actually loved Affleck in this. I'm sorry. I mean, so...
A very subdued Batman, like cerebral Batman, almost resolved. Like, I've gone through a lifetime of chasing criminals. I've seen my failures. I've seen my futility. I've seen my brashness as a youth. Kind of like he's the old wise man.
Yeah. Like old man Batman.
Which makes Alfred into Grandpa Alfred.
Yeah. I mean, I loved Affleck in this. I think he plays great old Batman. One of the better things in the film. Even though, like you said before, he's a weak character and he's pretty much a fuck up in the whole thing. And he's pretty much useless. It goes to show you how it doesn't matter how much you prepare. Batman is only human. And I'll say it again for people in the back. He is human. Doesn't matter how much prep time he has.
Wait, what's his superpower again?
He's rich. That's it.
All right, so we got
to hear nobody freaking saying, "Oh, yeah, he could defeat Iron Man because he's no."
Let's touch on Then let's leave that for the other debaters. You say Jordan can take on LeBron. Okay, that's another world, another era.
Sorry.
All right, so the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Guardians of the Stars, whatever you want to call them, the Green Lantern Force. They've been introduced.
The Green Lantern Corps.
They've been introduced here.
Yes.
And I love that because that is a huge mainstay of completely eliminated from the first one. I don't care who they bring in. Okay, that's not my point. The whole Corps is a intergalactic network.
Intergalactic police force, basically.
Yeah. So I'm glad they brought them in. And who else did they bring in? Which, to my surprise, I didn't hear about it. I didn't know it. It was a surprise to me. Martian
Manhunter.
Which is phenomenal. I mean, again, he's a huge pivotal force in the future and present of DC, and especially the Justice League. Yeah. He's the last remaining Martian of his people. He's got huge telepathic powers, shape-shifting powers. He fights against the same evil forces.
He's a powerhouse. He's I'm not saying he's as powerful as Superman, but he's up there. He's a powerhouse.
He's up there. I mean, to bring him in, it's a better circle.
They kind of could have used them against Steppenwolf. Well, not really. It didn't really matter. But I mean, it
could have, but then this would have been a 5.5-hour movie.
What's to say there's not a
Snyder
underground
director's cut.
Snyder, a director's cut.
I mean, again, if we're going to the length of the movie, I had no problem if they introduced this like Marvel had done in mini episodes. But I know they don't have the same vehicle. They don't have Disney. So they would have
had HBO Max, because now what's happened? Now they announced the Green Lantern Corps series, and they announced I do believe also Strange Adventures is coming out also. Not to mention you're talking about you have a Zatanna movie coming out, which sets up Justice League Dark, and you already have Swamp Thing. So what?
Yeah, and so there's a lot of things that they're going in this direction. So this is another good cut move to bring in a wider scope of the Justice League. And then who's introduced at the end? Not the epilogue.
Well, you have you introduced to Deathstroke. You introduced to.
Yes. Now Joker escapes. Obviously, I'm sorry, Joe. Lex Luthor escapes Arkham, which is awesome because it's forgotten in this whole thing. He was the one that initiated the call.
Of course.
And now Lex is escaped, and there's this badass on a water hydro thing, and he's surfing through, and he's getting to this big yacht, and then you have the meeting, which is fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, and people again knocked Jesse Eisenberg for his portrayal of Lex Luthor as being, but I thought that was one of the better things in, Man of Steel. Was it Man of Steel? Was it? Oh no, I'm sorry, Batman vs Superman. I
Yes.
actually enjoyed his version of Lex Luthor. It was more of a brash, younger version, for the new age. And yeah, he basically, tells Deathstroke if he wants to have a drink to celebrate, and he's like, "Why? I don't drink. I'm not. Was there celebrating?" He goes, "Look, I have some information for you. Something to the effect that I know who Batman is," and he says, "Oh, really?" And he tells him that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and they allude to the fact that Batman has something to do with Deathstroke losing an eye. And he says, "Oh, take that drink now." So now it's a damn shame.
That leads into now
The epilogue.
And in the epilogue, which I thought was, I don't know why it's taken a lot of hit from some people. I thought it was the best lead-in to a sequel, which I'm hoping there is because you hear all this stuff. This is, again, a post-apocalyptic nightmare, foreshadowing, premonition, whatever.
Well, yeah, Nightmare Batman and everything. That's so. Well,
And
before that, we'd be remiss not to mention the fact that even though Superman did what he did to beat the ever living crap out of, it was the Flash who really saved the day.
well, the Flash, Dave dove into his powers a little more, which is key. And
sets up the Flashpoint movie coming up. But
yes, the Flashpoint. So in much of DC, and especially this storyline, his ability to run so fast, past the speed of light, he actually can go back in time.
Yes.
And that becomes a very convoluted and very, very abstract idea of changing the past to affect the future and vice versa. But because he can do that and it's unlocking that kind of power, those who are hardcore to the comic books know how pivotal that is to change the fucked up future that's coming.
Exactly.
I mean, again, spoilers abound, people. In what may happen, Batman was supposed to protect Lois Lane. Lois Lane, who supposedly is carrying Superman's child, which is another biological mystery. Let's get into that later. And in the Batcave or somewhere, and does not protect her. And she dies. A distraught, totally devastated Superman is holding Lois Lane's dead body in his arms. And then there goes Darkseid to console him. Darkseid, the ever manipulating mastermind, gets Superman on his side and singed the earth. Take it away.
Yeah. So you get. Remember when we reviewed Brightburn? Basically,
Awesome.
yeah. You could check that episode out.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. And yeah, Superman's a bad guy. So
Kryptonian's gone bad.
And he freaking just is a bad man. And what's left of this ragtag Justice League, I guess, which includes now Deathstroke, Cyborg looking more like War Machine and Cyborg.
You have to in this world.
Batman. Um, who else? I'm drawing a blank here.
I have a joke for you.
Well, besides, and of course,
Aquaman's wife.
yes, Mara, of course.
So
Mrs. Ex Johnny Depp.
I thought in one of the best, wittiest exchanges of actors is between Batman and Joker. It says so much.
For all guys, for all you people who have not seen, this is the actual Suicide Squad Joker, Jared Leto.
Yes, which I actually do appreciate his portrayal of Joker. He had to be a little different, and
No, hey, look, I mean, wasn't my Joker, but I mean, I appreciate it for what it is.
he's a little less cynical, sarcastic, and he's more in your face.
Yeah, he's more crime boss,
Yeah,
evil.
but in a wicked, almost balls to the wall, I don't give a fuck attitude. But his exchange with Batman, which alludes to how both of them screwed up, and how Robin, it's alluded to, his a orphan ward he allowed to die, and then Batman uh, fight he gives it back to Joker and says, "Oh well, the last dying words of Harley Quinn was to kill your ass." Everyone has lost somebody very deep, very dear to them
Because of Batman.
because of Batman, and you could see the rage in everybody's freaking eyes. And then Cyborg says, "We've been found," and then Dark Superman lands. It's game over. And then he wakes up, and an alert, and somebody's in Bruce Wayne's habitat, and it's the Martian Manhunter. Crazy stuff.
Yeah. I mean, look, I would run, not walk, run to see that movie. But I'm not sure it would ever get made. I mean,
yes, there's a lot of behind the scenes problems.
It's an enormously ballsy maneuver to get the biggest Boy Scout in the universe, and you're the poster child of DC, whether or not you want to admit, and have Superman be the bad guy for a full movie. That's
It's not going to end that way. There's going to dudes out there. You know what I'm talking about. I'm not breaking any spoilers for you. Flash is going to be pivotal, and so will Cyborg, into concocting some kind of break the past to reset the future, a la, I know Avengers did it first, but in such a way that Lois doesn't die, because it's in the movie. Lois is key. Lois Lane is key to everything.
Exactly.
So I think we covered almost everything.
Save the world. I'm sorry. Wrong show.
I think we covered almost everything. Anything left that we left, any stone left unturned on the Snyder cut?
All right. Bottom line, Rocco, what do you think? Was the Snyder cut worth a watch? Worth the 4 hours? And was it better than the Joss Whedon version? I mean, I would say don't even give it a rating. Which is just
no. It's a whole supernova ahead of Joss Whedon's version. I'm not discrediting Joss Whedon completely because he was under orders and under contract to do a certain way. I didn't like his way. So let's just call it what it is. It's superior. It is a fantastic ultra movie. It's something I cannot, and I don't think anybody out there can sit through 4 hours straight. I'm very appreciative it's on Max because you could do it. Had this been
it took me, it took me 2 days, and I admit I probably dozed off in not a couple parts, but I mean, as you're talking, I'm like, oh, wow, yeah, that did happen, and I had to, go back and.
If this was released in the theaters, this would have had it broken up into two.
No, it would have been two movies. But first of all, I think also Zack Snyder did a real fu to DC, and then he said, "I am going to put every single minute that I filmed on the screen." Okay,
And of course,
whether
why?
it makes sense or it does not make sense, and he, dude. I mean, I'll be shocked if there was anything left on the cutting room floor.
Why are we even here talking about this? Because there was a online petition to salvage this garbage. That was the Whedon.
Well, it was a groundswell from the actors themselves.
Yeah, that this is
I
not
think
the.
it was. I think it was. It might have been Momoa, one of the first ones to really say, you know what, yeah, you guys need to watch the director's cut because it was that much better.
Yeah, even his scenes had a lot of depth. Bruce Wayne came in. It was his second attempt to get him that he actually reached. Not really even reached him. He was shown the door twice by Aquaman, and thought it was crazy. And he was failing. He was failing. He wasn't doing his job effectively. Batman was. So listen, by all accounts, it's a fabulous, fantastic movie. It is, in my opinion, a great answer to the Avenger line and Endgame, and you know my feelings about Endgame. And I think this is a better movie than Endgame.
Oh, blasphemy, blasphemous.
Sorry, yeah, I said it. I said it.
You know what I'm saying? Send your hate mail to tarakainc@gmail.com.
So
Khan at
the
gmail.com.
Snyder Cut is awesome. How do you feel about the movie?
All right, the Snyder Cut was much better than the Joss Whedon version, and it's actually a decent movie.
Decent.
Yeah, it's a decent movie. I mean, I there were some parts I really enjoyed, and some parts that were as bad as they were in the original.
Well, that's why not the entire movie was not completely reshot.
You know, but it was necessary, and it was. I'm glad I saw it. I mean, that this he was given the opportunity to tell his vision, and it worked out.
What do you feel were the parts of the movie that took away from you giving it a stellar review? What really took away from it? What was the down points?
I mean, I just never been a fan of the whole. I mean, first of all, Green Lantern. Where is Green Lantern? Wasn't there, and I know why he wasn't there, or why they weren't.
Green Lantern or Hal?
I mean, they have a bad taste in the mouth from the whole freaking Ryan Reynolds debacle, So obviously they want to distance themselves as much as possible.
Green Lantern Corps is there. I mean, they're represented.
I mean, but why weren't they there? I don't know. But yeah, no, it was good, man. I mean, I love the Deathstroke.
Your hang up?
It's a damn shame we're not gonna get Magneto as Deathstroke, because I thought that's a wonderful casting choice, and it's but I guess I would give it above average, not better than Endgame. Sorry.
I have problems with my main.
But it is better than Age of Ultron. How about that?
My main thing with Endgame, again, guys, if you're listening and you heard me already ravel, they screwed up the whole time continuum thing. There's holes in that. There's holes throughout the movie. Half the movie, in my opinion, is a cheesy cop out of going back in time in different eras to fix things. Then you have different superheroes that should have, could have taken down Thanos by himself, but then didn't. There's some pivotal, great, iconic moments, like when Captain America gets Mjolnir and uses it, like when he says, "Avengers assemble." That's awesome. Then the whole ending sucked ass. How he retired. I mean, there's a lot. You know what? We'll do a whole nother episode with Rocket dispatching and do a post-mortem on Endgame.
You know what? I would like to see that.
Yes, you would.
I would like to partake into that. There you go.
All right. So fans out there, loyal listeners, thank you for taking a whole chunk of time to listen to us give our viewpoint. It's a lot to take in because it's a 4-hour damn movie and it's a remake movie. There's a lot of behind the scenes politics, money, egos, everything. I mean, it's Hollywood inside of a Hollywood. But as far as options other than just Marvel, this kicks ass.
Well, I mean, overall, in all seriousness, the movie is definitely watchable. I don't know if it's 4 hours watchable. I mean, you can leave that up to you guys to watch it. But there is enough new stuff and enough direction and enough, stuff inside that even if you watch the original, this is a much better version. I admit that. So, so watch it. And if not, just watch part 1 and the epilogue. How about that?
Watch the whole damn movie. It's awesome. Take your time.
That being said, thank you all for joining us again. And
remember to save the whales. Yes. Be vigilant. Rock on.
Stay safe, guys. Take care.